What if everything you know about the world is only one page of a much darker book? Hidden minds, secret codes, forgotten patterns, and humanity's darkest truths are shaping our future right now. But the question is, who is really writing the next chapter of the world? The world is not just a place, it is a giant book. And every country is a page written by human minds. Some pages were built with power, some with fear, some with dreams, and some with silence. In the dark corners of history, people changed nations not with weapons, but with ideas. An idea entered one mind, then another, and slowly an entire country started moving in a new direction. Think about it. Why do some nations move faster? Why do some people create? Why do others only follow? The answer may not be money. It may not be technology. The answer could be psychology. Every society creates a mental code. A code that tells people what to believe, what to fear, what to chase, and what to ignore. This invisible code becomes culture. Culture becomes behavior. Behavior becomes history. And history writes the next page of the world. Now imagine, if the world is a book, then every human mind is a hidden chapter. Some chapters stay closed forever. Some change civilizations, and some are waiting for the right person to open them. Maybe the biggest mystery is not inside space, not inside oceans, but inside the human brain. Because a single thought can build a city, a belief can move millions, and one dark question can change everything. What if the world was never controlled by power, but by ideas? This is not just history. This is not just psychology. This is the Hidden Mind Map. For more dark psychology and mind secrets, welcome to Dark Brain. What if history is hiding something? Not treasure, not lost cities, but invisible patterns, repeated again and again across human civilization. Every empire believed it would last forever. Every powerful nation thought it had reached the top. But time turned kings into stories, and cities into silence. So the question is, why does humanity repeat the same mistakes? Because humans remember events, but forget patterns. Look closely. Fear creates control. Control creates obedience. Obedience creates silence. And silence slowly changes society. This cycle appeared in different places, different times, different languages, yet the psychology remained almost the same. People searched for power. Power searched for influence. Influence searched for minds. And minds created the future. Think about the greatest changes in history. Many started with one person, one idea, one belief. A single thought entered society, and millions followed. This is the hidden side of humanity, the side rarely discussed. The invisible battlefield inside human thinking. Because wars can change borders, but ideas can change civilizations. Now imagine the world as a giant book. Some pages are bright, some pages are heroic, and some pages are dark, filled with fear, ambition, mystery, and human choices. These are the black pages of humanity. Pages that remind us, humanity does not only build the world, humanity also writes its shadows. And maybe the biggest mystery is this: are we creating history or repeating it? This is Black Pages of Humanity. Look around. Cities are growing. Technology is rising. The world looks smarter than ever. But there is one question humanity still cannot fully answer. Who controls the human mind? Is it information, fear, culture, or invisible ideas moving silently through society? Every country has buildings. Every nation has borders. But behind them, there is another world, a hidden world, the world of thoughts. Because before every invention, there was an idea. Before every revolution, there was a belief. And before every change, there was a mind. Now imagine something strange. What if the world itself has a mind? Not a brain of flesh, but a network of human thinking. Billions of people, billions of emotions, billions of decisions, connected without knowing it. One idea appears in one place. Months later, it spreads across continents. A fear begins somewhere. Soon, millions react. A dream is born in silence, and one day it changes history. This is why the real battlefield was never only land. It was attention. Because attention becomes thought. Thought becomes action, action becomes reality, and reality writes the future. The world does not move only with machines. It moves with minds, invisible, powerful, unpredictable. So maybe the greatest secret is not hidden under oceans or inside ancient ruins. Maybe it lives inside us, inside every decision, every belief, every question. Because the world has roads, but humanity follows thoughts, and those thoughts create the world's secret mind. This is not just a story. This is psychology. This is civilization. This is Dark Brain. Since the beginning of human history, civilizations have risen from dust and returned to dust again. Kingdoms appeared. Empires expanded. Nations became powerful. Yet one invisible force remained behind them all. A force stronger than armies, stronger than wealth, stronger than technology. That force was the human mind. Every civilization follows a hidden code, a code that shapes how people think, what they value, what they fear, and what they are willing to sacrifice. Most people never see this code because it is invisible. It lives inside traditions, inside education, inside stories, inside everyday beliefs, but its effects are everywhere. A society that values knowledge grows differently. A society driven by fear moves differently. A society obsessed with power creates a different future. The buildings may change, the flags may change, the languages may change, but the psychological patterns often remain the same. History shows us something strange. Civilizations rarely collapse in a single day. First, people stop questioning, then they stop learning, then they stop imagining, and slowly, the foundation begins to crack. Not from the outside, but from within. Because every civilization is built twice. First in the mind, then in the real world. And when the mind weakens, the structure follows. This is the dark code hidden beneath human history. The code that silently influences generations. The code that decides whether a society rises, stagnates, or disappears. So the real question is not, how powerful is a civilization? The real question is, what code is running inside its mind? Because the future of humanity may depend on an invisible system. A system written not in stone, but in thought. This is Dark Code of Civilization. Imagine opening the last page of humanity's story. Not tomorrow, not 1,000 years from now, but the final chapter that every civilization is slowly moving toward. For centuries, humans have searched for answers. They explored oceans, they crossed deserts, they reached the skies, and even touched the edge of space. Yet the greatest mystery remained unsolved. The mystery of ourselves. Every generation believed it was different. Every civilization believed it was unique. But history whispers the same lesson again and again. Humanity changes its tools faster than it changes its nature. The world became connected. Information travels in seconds. Ideas cross continents instantly. But the human mind still struggles with the same questions. Fear, power, purpose, meaning, and the desire to be remembered. These forces shaped the ancient world, and they continue to shape the modern one. Now think about this. What if the final chapter of the world is not about technology? What if it is not about money? What if it is not even about power? What if the final chapter is about awareness? A moment when humanity finally understands that the greatest battles were never only outside. They were inside. Inside thoughts, inside beliefs, inside choices. Because every future begins in the mind. Every civilization begins in the mind. And every ending begins there too. The hidden truth is simple. The world we see is a reflection of the minds that create it. Change the mind, and you change the future. Ignore the mind, and history repeats itself. So as this chapter closes, one question remains. What kind of future is humanity writing today? Because the next page has not been written yet, and the pen is still in our hands. This is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of a new question, and every question opens a new chapter. Welcome to Dark Brain. The book remains open.